Photon Shockwave was released on November 15th, 2011. Wind-Up Zenmains was the highly anticipated new generic rank 3 that would become a staple of extra decks that could support it for years to come. And the release of Rescue Rabbit, Evil Zorlagia, and Evil Zordolka would form the win condition of the terrifying new meta contender, Dino Rabbit. In this series, both MBT and myself will be traversing the sands of Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Each episode will take a deep dive into Yu-Gi-Oh's past formats and unlock new strategies as new sets become available. Strap yourselves in because anything is possible. Welcome to the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you want 5% off any singles or sealed product, click the affiliate links in the description and use code CIMO5. And clicking the TCG Player affiliate link before you shop helps support us to provide you with more amazing content.
Okay, obviously I'm a little upset about losing with Dark Worlds, but you have to admit those matches were hype. I mean, what a cool pair of explosive decks. This one will be different. We are rapidly approaching what many duelists regard as the worst Yu-Gi-Oh! Format of all time. I don't mean worst of all time in that people are upset for 9 months because they have to purchase Dad or lose. I don't mean worst of all time because there's a distinct lack of variety among the top decks. I don't mean worst of all time because one of the top decks is doing something incredibly frustrating like Goki Extra Link. I mean worst of all time in that the format was so infuriatingly bad, Yu-Gi-Oh! Lost something like 40% of its player base to the newly released Cardfight Vanguard. This is a dearth that Yu-Gi-Oh! Almost did not recover from, and in the next couple of episodes you are going to see exactly why. Now this match takes place a couple of months before that cataclysmic event in December of 2011. The event we're focusing on for this one is YCS Brighton. Now at YCS Kansas City, alongside Dark World and Agents and the occasional Tengu plant list, there were 3 tops in the top 32 of a very interesting unexplored strategy, Dino Rabbit. Over the next month on Dueling Network, if anyone remembers the precursor to Dueling Book, many players were testing this strategy and finding it had legs, really strong ones. As a result, Dino Rabbit was kind of the deck to beat going into YCS Brighton, and the results speak for themselves. Of the top 16 lists at YCS Brighton, 8 of them were Dino Rabbit. The next most represented was Plant Synchro at 3. Plant Synchro and Cimo and I have been through a lot together. We've both played the deck, we've both won with it, and we've both lost with it. Reborn Tengu and the Plant Monsters have been the backbone of a really powerful synchro-oriented strategy for about 9 months now. The Plant Monsters and Debris Dragon have facilitated a very strong backbone for a synchro combo deck since early Edison format, and after about 18 months of continued playability, this is the last time they are ever really strong. There are a couple of rogue tops throughout February, but after that, the deck completely falls off, and synchro summoning isn't particularly good again for years. This is it for the strategy. And looking at this deck list, you can probably see why. It has become so bloated with niche one-ofs and limited cards that it's hard to imagine this is ever anything resembling consistent. In this 41-card deck, there's something ridiculous like 27 one-ofs, and the 3 ofs are just cards like Tengu, Tour Guide from the Underworld, and Thunder King Ryo, stun tools in what used to be a powerful and explosive synchro strategy. Lo, how the mighty have fallen. If you can't beat the back row, I suppose you join them. I'll give this deck its last hurrah, but it really does feel like we are playing with a deck that is past its prime. This deck was pushed out of the meta not by an individual ban list, but by the metagame evolving beyond it. We've got a copy of Maxi, 2 copies of Effect Veiler, Gorz the Emissary of Darkness, a Blackluster Soldier Envoy at the beginning, a Caius, a Lonefire, a Spore, a Glow-Up Bulb, a Dandelion, a Debris, a Spirit Reaper, 3 Reborn Tengu, 2 Thunder King Ryo, 3 Tour Guide, and 1 Sangan, 1 Book of Moon, Dark Hole, Foolish Burial, Heavy Storm, Mind Control, Monster Reborn, 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, 2 Enemy Controller, and back to 1 for 1, Pot of Avarice, Call of the Haunted, Compulse, Mirror Force, Solemn Judgment, Torrential Tribute, Trap Dust Shoot, with 2 Solemn Warning. In the side, we've got double Doom Caliber Knight, the 3rd Thunder King Ryo, double Vanity's Fiend, 1 Emergency Provisions, 1 Mystical Space Typhoon, double Bottomless Trap Hole, another Compulse, 2 Dimensional Prison, 1 Mirror of Oaths for, I believe, Rabbit exactly, and 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. In the extra, we've got an Ally of Justice Colossalus, an Armory Arm, double Black Rose Dragon, a Brionac, a Formula Synchron, an Orient Dragon, Scrap, Stardust, TG Hyper Librarian, Trishula, Leviair, number 17 Leviathan Dragon, Utopia, and Zenmains. You've served us very well, Plant Synchro. now it's time to put you to rest.
Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. Not only are we at the start of a new year for the actual timeline, but for the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Timeline, we are about to enter a new year as well. We are now at December 2011, verging on the transition to January 2012, and we are going to be piloting one of the newest decks, courtesy of Photon Shockwave, Dino Rabbit. Now, this is a deck that I've never had the opportunity to play, but I'm very excited to be doing so. There's a lot of cool stuff going on here. We get to see a lot of new cards, and so let's just go ahead and do the card by card. So first up, we've got a copy of Gores, because it's obviously one of the best cards of the format. 3 copies of Jurak Guaiba. I guess I should start by talking about what our win condition here is, for those of you who've never seen this deck. So Dino Rabbit, the namesake, comes from a new card, Rescue Rabbit, which is actually just one of the most broken cards ever. You can banish this card you control, special summon 2 level 4 lower normal monsters with the same name from your deck, but destroy them during the end phase. Now, that part's irrelevant, because what we're going to do is we're going to go into either 2 copies of Sabersaurus and 2 copies of Kabazals, depending on which ones you still have left in deck, overlay them for one of our new monsters, either Evilzor Dolka or Evilzor Logia. Now, both of these cards are both equally crazy in their own right. Logia has the ability that it's basically just walking Solemn Judgment. You detach 2 materials, negate the summon or activation of a card your opponent activates or summons, and you destroy it. And Dolka is slightly better and worse in some ways, depending on how you're looking at it or the matchup. You can detach a material when your opponent's monster activates its effect, and you just negate the activation and destroy that monster. Now, that's not even once per turn, so if your opponent activates multiple effects, you're able to negate multiple things. Being able to just stick Logia or Dolka in a lot of instances is usually just going to wrap up the game in your favor. If you set up Logia, you can protect yourself from Heavy Storm and set all of your back row, and then you're sitting pretty good at that point, and that's how this deck likes to feed. Now, this is the earliest iteration of this deck, and it goes under several. It gets into Macro Rabbit later, where it actually starts main decking cards like Macro Cosmos to be more of an anti-meta pick. But Jurak Guaiba is another level 4 dinosaur that is very interesting. If it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon a Jurak monster with 1700 less attack from your deck, but it cannot declare an attack. So it's kind of like Hydrogeddon with 100 more attack, but you don't get the extra attack in, which kind of sucks. But if you get this off once, and a lot of the monsters in this format are very tiny, you can summon another Guaiba, then immediately overlay for one of our rank 4s, and so it's basically another 1-card version of either Logia or Dolka. We have 2 Max C in the main deck. This is a very ubiquitous option, because at this point in time, there's a lot of decks that are special summoning, and especially with some other decks in the format, we want to make sure we have this in here. 1 copy of Grand Mole is also a nice tech. This is one of my favorite cards ever, and it does actually see relevant competitive play during this time, because it's actually very strong at being able to out a lot of just problematic cards in the format, so that's why it's at 1 in here. 3 copies of Rabbit. The one thing about Rabbit that's particularly interesting is that this is right at the end where priority exists in Yu-Gi-Oh! And to be honest, Rabbit's probably the reason why priority got changed, because if you summon Rabbit with Prio, you can tribute it off, which means that you're actually not going to be able to do anything like Effect Veiler or use any sort of negation to stop the Rabbit, and so that makes it almost invincible in that regard, and so that's why eventually priority got changed, so that way your opponent actually gets priority first before you do. This is how modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is played today, and to be honest, I think I'm actually kind of happy that that change was implemented. We have a Sangan paired with 3 Tour Guide. What's especially broken in this deck is after you go into your Rabbit and go into one of your Logia or Dolka, preferably Logia for protection, you can follow it up with a Tour Guide into a Sangan or another Tour Guide, go into a copy of Leviair. Since this card banishes itself for cost, you can bring back the Rescue Rabbit, and you can do it all over again and summon another copy of either Logia or Dolka. That is just the god combo, and if it happens, we're probably going to win immediately, but obviously that's pretty idealistic. And then the 3 Kabazals and Sabersaurus, these are just the biggest vanilla dinosaur monsters in the game, which is why we ended up playing them. For the spells, Book of Moon, Darkhold, Double Forbidden Lance. This is a nice card because it not only allows us to get over monsters for Jurak Guaiba to trigger, but it also protects our big monsters like Logia and Dolka from stuff like Darkhold and the like, and so the attack reduction is kind of marginal depending on the circumstances, because they are quite big. Gold Sark is in here just to get us to Rabbit, or maybe anything else. If we're like mid-game, we can get an Avarice. Mind Control, Monster Reborn, double MST, the aforementioned Avarice, and 2 copies of Smashing Ground. This deck can struggle getting over big monsters at times, so Smashing Ground's in here for that. And then the traps, Bottomless, Double D Prison, a Mirror Force, Solemn Judgment, and 2 Warning, aka the Solemn Brigade, a Torrential, and a Trap Dust Shoot. The extra deck is full of cards we've seen up until this point, aside from obviously the aforementioned Logia and Dolka. We're playing 2 Levier because it's very powerful in this deck, and then we're also playing 2 new Xyzs in the form of Steel Swarm Roach, which is nice because it can actually just deal with large monsters, and Wind Up Zen Mains. This card was incredibly expensive because this card is fierce. While it's face up, it would be destroyed. You can detach a material from this card instead, and once per turn during the end phase, if this effect were used this turn, target a card on the field and destroy it. 2100 defense, just an absolute pain in the ass to deal with, and it gives you something to do with Tour Guide turn 1 that isn't just Leviathan Dragon Pass. And then for the side deck, 2 Cyber Dragon for any of the machine-based matchups. We have 2 Fossil Dino, which is good for any of the special summon heavy matchups, which Joseph's deck, you know, this could come up. Spirit Reaper is also nice too, because Reaper is sort of problematic for some decks, and just having it set in defense can actually be good enough. 2 Thunder King for a good going first card. 2 Dimensional Fisher. These cards actually start becoming main deck staples of Dino Rabbit later when it becomes Macro Rabbit, because this protects from hand traps and also just banishes cards that would otherwise be better off in the graveyard. So having this when your deck doesn't really care, yeah, it like blanks like Avarice and Reborn, but if you activate Fisher or Macro, you're probably just going to win the game. Heavy Storm, Mystical Space Typhoon for some more back row removal, and then for traps, 2 Fiendish Chain and 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, depending on the matchup. This is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see how this goes for Plant's last hurrah, and we're bringing something new to the table. So ladies and gentlemen, let's not make you wait any longer. It's time to duel. Happy New Year, buddy. You actually told me after the end of the last episode that we ended last year with a tied record. Are you serious?
Yeah, isn't that wild?
That's unbelievable. I mean, I guess we're too evenly matched. What could you say?
Apparently, and hopefully that will end right now. Although I'll be honest with you, I do not have faith in the dying embers of Plant Synchro given what is about to happen in Yu-Gi-Oh! This isn't just a new year for us. This is about to be a new year for Yu-Gi-Oh! Itself, and 2012 is... It's not a good one, folks.
It's something, for sure. And I think we're going to be exploring the early stages of 2012 for the next few episodes, at least, because there's actually a lot of new decks to talk about. Isn't that exciting? But for now, I think we're going to be showing off one of the more favored ones, especially because it has a lot of just strengths going into this format. But we'll see how it goes, buddy. I'm ready. Obviously, like, everyone was still riding the hype of Plants moving into this format, but we'll see how it fares against one of the new contenders. I am ready if you are.
I am also ready. Let me hold up a number.
Okay, and I will shout out the patron. It is MBT is cute. There you go, buddy. You've got a lot of fans for this.
It's at least not that horny. I appreciate it.
Not that horny. Yeah, this is like, you know, just this is very tolerable levels
Flattered
of horniness.
and
But
not
thank you for the
disgusted.
support.
A rare combo given the other patron names.
Okay, so I rolled the die. I'm going to go with even.
Even again, yep, it is 4, and I bet you can expect why I picked that one.
Is it because of the number of stars on some of the monsters in my deck?
Could be, could be. Well,
all right. Well,
this is a death sentence going against this deck second, so
well,
we could go to game 2 if you want.
Well, let's see what the hand looks like first. Well, let's draw for turn first.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like slightly better, I guess. All right, let's go ahead and start here. Think about how we want to do this. Well, I think I would be remiss if I didn't start this game off with Tour Guide.
Oh, okay. This is Valerable. Yeah.
That is Valerable, yep. We did not have the rabbit, as you might expect. So then I am going to fire off Gold Sarcophagus.
Well, I imagine we'll see the rabbit eventually.
Eventually, and there it is. We will banish it. And I think I am just going to set 1 card and throw it to you.
All right, stand by main. Gonna try my hardest here. Let's go ahead and normal summon Thunder King Ryo.
That's a good one.
I'll go to combat and attack.
Sure, so I'll take 9.
Well, I didn't think we'd get this far. Second main, I will set 2, and back to you, buddy.
You should be feeling pretty good. Okay, I'll draw. That is turn 1 on Sark. I will mark that in the chat for our viewers here. And in main phase 1, I guess I will run out good old Sabersaurus.
Yeah, that's fine.
I will go to battle, try to contest with the Thunder King here.
Mirror Force?
Sure. That's fine. All right. He's down. Second main, I'm going to set another one. I'll throw it to you.
Ooh, sorry about that, everyone watching. I was just shrouded in darkness because of my mood dealing with this deck. All right, let's go to main 1 here. Oh, geez. I mean, I guess I'll just keep attacking.
I'll deprison here.
Sure. Okay. All right, I'll set one back to you.
I'll space that in end phase.
I needed that. Okay.
Ooh, okay, that's a good hit. Draw. Standby. I will get the rabbit to my hand.
Yeah.
And to no one's surprise, I will run out the rabbit.
Woo.
We're not running out the rabbit. It was fun while it lasted. Go ahead.
Man. I was looking up if ignition effect priority was gone. And I guess we would be remiss if we didn't talk about this just a little bit.
Correct.
Ignition effect priority was a thing that used to exist in Yu-Gi-Oh! From its inception until about 2 months from now. In which you, as the turn player, were allowed to activate an ignition effect before your opponent could respond to a successful normal summon. It applied after performing any action, which led to some really stupid things you could do with, like, Destiny, Hero, Malicious. This card, Rescue Rabbit, is largely responsible for why that shit went away.
Yep, because the fact that it could just tribute itself away effectively gave it a sort of just built-in dodge for effect negation or warning or torrential or anything like that. Obviously, you know, you can just do other things as well. However, it's still just very annoying, and I think that's probably one of the best changes Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever made, in all honesty. All right, we'll draw. Geez, things are going well here. Anything in standby?
No, just hoping you didn't draw another one.
I didn't, but I have another Sabersaurus. Is that fine?
I don't care about Saber.
I'll hit for 19.
Yeah, dude.
He's big. He's normally gentle, but he becomes angered and becomes terribly ferocious. And right now, he's looking pretty ferocious.
That's literally what it says on the card. That's incredible. All right, well, this is like the worst play ever. I'm going to reborn targeting your rabbit.
Sure, buddy. Go ahead.
I'll trigger a rabbit. Could you imagine?
In the plant deck, I'd be very shocked.
Let me actually see if I have targets. Oh my god, that's so surprising. I don't. It's Caius. I'll banish the Sabersaurus.
No! He's so gentle. Why would you do that? Fine.
Oh, thankfully, he's not going to be able to do anything with that newfound ferocity. I'll get in for 24.
That's fine. And then I'm going to drop Gores.
You do have Gores. That is so annoying. All right, second main. I will set one. Back to you, buddy.
Okay, we shall draw. That's kind of a cool one. We're staring down Caius to back row. Your torrential is gone. Wait, what's torrential at in this format? Oh, shit.
It's a 1.
Is it at 1?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know at some point, I think, is it next format it goes to 2? That would make it much bigger decision here. All right, whatever. I'm going to normal summon Jurak Guaiba.
No response to that.
I will proceed to battle. I will go Gores over Caius.
I might as well make you waste the token.
Puts him to defense. Yeah, sure. So we'll do that. I'm going to go Guaiba into Caius. Damage step, I'm going to Lancer Caius.
Oh, well, that was different than I expected. Sure, that's fine. How much do I take?
So you take 100, and then I'll trigger Guaiba.
Yep.
We get to special summon another Guaiba, which is kind of cool.
What's the cool part exactly?
I get to hit for a bunch of damage. That's the cool part. And you're dead, actually. Even better.
Guaiba can't attack this turn, so I do get one more shot at it.
Never mind. You do get one more shot. Okay. Well, then second main, I'm going to overlay my Guaibas. Reading, ladies and gentlemen, reading. We're going to go for the Logia. The boy has emerged. Pass the turn, buddy. Go ahead.
All right, and let's go to game 2. I promise there are plants in here.
There's somewhere. There's somewhere.
I mean, this deck is just so bloated at this point. It's all tech choices. It's all neat little interactions, and it has almost no game versus decks like yours. I'm going to go for Tour Guide.
That's fine. I also want to apologize about Guaiba. I was getting it confused with another dinosaur that has a reasonable attack that gets to special summon another dinosaur out of the deck that I just love being Hydro-Geddon, but he's just not as good. He's just not as good.
And speaking of not as good, back to you.
That's a lot of cards. I really wish I had Heavy, but for once in my life, I don't. As good as I am at this game.
I'm so mad that Heavy's unbanned, by the way. Oh my gosh.
Right? Like, they did the good thing and banned it how many formats ago, and now it's back? Atrocious. Absolutely miserable. I think I'm just going to set 3 and pass.
All right. Draw for turn?
Sure.
Standby main? Sheesh, I don't know. I'm going to normal summon Spirit Reaper.
I will Torrential here.
Okay. I will trigger Sandgun.
Sure.
Let's go grab Reborn Tengu. God, that'd be sick,
Seems like a good card.
That would be so funny.
He's also not a plant, but he's like an honorary plant, right?
He's also got
coming back.
1700 attack, unfortunately.
That too. That kind of matters.
Deciding if I want to get Lone Fire Blossom here or Tour Guide. I guess the deck is called Plant Synchro. It would feel kind of stupid if I didn't get Lone Fire. Yeah, we'll do that.
Sure.
I'll set one more card, and back to you, Buckaroo.
All right, we'll try. I'll draw. That's something, I suppose. I'm going to fire Reborn, targeting your Spirit Reaper.
No response to that.
Bring out the boy. I'm just going to go to battle, try to hit.
Wow, I never thought I'd get to use this. Controller.
I knew you had that from the first game, so I had a feeling it might be there. But I figured I'd try to rip something out of your hand. Second main. Kind of just chilling. I'm going to set one and pass.
Stand by main.
All good.
Whee! With Bryo.
I will warning the effect.
That sucks. Wow, that sucks. Yeah, that's fine. I'll set one. You are good to go.
We'll draw. I will flip Sabersaurus.
Sure.
That'll all hit.
I'll take it.
Second main, I'm going to pass the turn.
Stand by main. I will normal Doom Caliber Knight and pass.
That's an annoying card. Sure. I'll draw. I will go to battle.
Yep.
Attempt to crash.
And no response.
Okay. So we both die. Second main, Rabbit.
Well, you have forced my hand, Alex.
Okay. Shocker. I wasn't expecting that to happen. I will pass the turn.
All right.
All
behold,
good.
my second Doom Caliber Knight. Wow.
Yeah. So I'll take 19 here.
Back to you.
We're trying. Main one. I will pass the turn.
I'll try it again.
I'll take it. Sure.
This is an interesting one. Back to you.
This isn't the game I don't think either of us were expecting. Main one. I will... I guess it's something. I'll set and I'll set. Go ahead.
Stand by main. I will normal Debris Dragon.
No response to the summon. Would you like to activate the effect?
Oh, right. I see how this is going to work. I will return the Debris Dragon to my hand and attack with Doom Caliber Knight.
It is Kabazals. That is fine.
All right, back to you.
Okay, I will draw. That's cool. I will set one and pass the turn.
All right, MST targeting this.
Shit, it's my judgment. Yep, or my warning. Excuse
Dark
me.
Hole.
Shit, there goes my Guaiba.
Okay, Debris targeting Lone Fire.
Sure.
And let's make Black Rose. And let's attempt to win.
Mirror Force?
Judgment.
No! Okay.
I figured out how to beat this deck. You have to become Dino Rabbit.
You know, I had that Mirror Force. Part of me is thinking like I should have used it earlier, but my hand was just like Avarice Heavy Storm, which like in theory is good, but I had no monsters because like you wouldn't let anything resolve. So I don't know. I guess I was just like trying to wait till I could actually do something with it, but it is how it is. I get to go first, which is hopefully going to lead us to victory here. Let's see the God Hand. That is not it. We'll draw for turn.
This game sucks. Oh my god. Oh, I mean, obviously, this is one of the most frustrating matchups of all time. In one of the most frustrating formats of all time, you're playing one of the most frustrating decks of all time, and I'm playing one of the longest-lived ones. But I don't know how anyone took this game seriously. This is atrocious.
All right. Valor me.
Oh, yeah, let's go. I do not have Valor.
Wow. All right. No complaints there. Let's just go straight for the other tour guide.
Sure, yeah.
We get to bring out a new card, buddy. Here comes the Zen Mains.
Why have we not made Zen Mains yet? That's kind of...
Because we haven't had it. It was in Photon Shockwave, which is where all the other Dino Rabbit stuff came from. I'll set one and pass.
All right, stand by main. I'm gonna
Up to this point in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!, the
Tengu?
best card we had was good old Leviathan Dragon. Tengu is fine.
I'm gonna Foolish Burial.
Sure.
I'm gonna send a copy of... Oh, Glow Up Bulb is really funny. I mean, it's not good, but it's really funny. We're gonna send Dandelion. Get that bad boy in rotation. We'll get a couple of tokens, and back to you, Buckaroo.
Thrilling. Very thrilling.
I love
I will
Yu-Gi-Oh,
draw.
dude. Yep.
Okay, main phase one. Let's go ahead and... okay, so I'm going to put Zen Mains to attack. And we're going to go for Jurak Gwaiba.
Okay, this is the huge punish to my play, but sure.
Okay, Gwaiba into the token.
Yep.
Activate Gwaiba. We get to summon another one that cannot attack, to clarify. But the Zen mains can, so I'll hit into the other token. Second main, I'm going to throw over the Gwaibas here. What do I want to make? It's a question. Probably Dolka here. Logia is still pretty good, but you have Tengu up, so I kind of like Dolka a bit better. Yeah, you may proceed. Go ahead.
All right, stand by main.
Sure.
Heavy.
Ooh, I did make a slight misplay here. That's fine. I guess I will chain Lance on your Tengu.
Sure. All right,
knock
watch
it to
this.
9.
This is such a sick play. All right, I'm going to tribute Tengu for Caius. I'll go Caius 1, Tengu 2.
Get to block the Caius. Well, not much I can do about that. I'm going to negate the Tengu. What are you banishing with Caius?
Unsurprisingly, I'll take the Zen mains.
Shocker. Wouldn't have guessed. Okay. So Zen mains is gone.
So try and get into the
And
Dolka
then
here.
Dolka is gone.
All right, we did it. See, we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Back to you.
Okay, we'll draw. Main one.
Yep.
Let's... Got 2 in hand. I'm going to smash the Caius.
Ow.
I'm going to normal Sabersaurus.
No response to this.
Hit for 19.
Yep.
Second main, I'll set one. Go ahead.
All right, behold, the most powerful card in my deck. Tour Guide from the Underworld.
That's fine.
Right, I'm going to get another one. What if I get Sangan? That's not bad, actually. I know we probably have to out these Sabersaurus. We'll go for Leviathan here.
Yeah, it's fine.
Whoop. Whatcha?
Dimensional Prison.
Ugh, I guess I'll Judgment here.
Gross. Okay. So that's gone. I lose 6 here.
Yep. And, I don't know. Back to you.
Good one. This is what they call not good. I guess I'll set one and pass.
I'm gonna normal Doom Caliber Knight.
I'm going to Torrential Tribute.
Decent. I have a Pot of Avarice.
Gross. I saw you looking in the grave and figured that might be the case.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. I actually may not want to do one of these. I don't want to fucking draw Doom Caliber Knight. What am I talking about?
It's not a bad card.
I want to draw the Tour Guide.
Yeah, Tour Guide's pretty good.
Whoop, whoop. Oh, sick. Bye.
Well, there is a back row, at least. Main one.
Yes.
Normal Tour Guide. Special Sangan.
I see. Yep, that's fine.
Okay. I didn't think we'd make it this far, if I'm being honest. I wish I had that Zen mains, but do not. I'm just going to go to battle.
I'll take 2,000 here.
Okay. I will pass on that then.
Whoop. Stand by me.
All good.
Wow.
There he is. Sure. So I take, was a 7?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Back to you.
Draw. We'll go Sangan to defense. I will set one and throw it to you.
Stand by main.
All good.
Wow.
Oh, perfect. I mean, it's just book. I guess I'll book my own Sangan, sure.
Ooh, Nobleman of Crossout.
Right? That'd be the
such a
ultimate
good
punish.
game for
Double
both of us.
Tengu, gross.
We're doing so well.
All right, so I'll take 17, trigger Sangan. We've got gameplay. There's gameplay at least,
gameplay.
right? I will get Rescue Rabbit.
I got nothing here. Go ahead.
Okay, this is where I'm probably dead. Show me the back row.
Would you like to do something with Prio?
Yeah, I would like to get rid of it immediately.
I do not have it.
Well, in that
think I'm
case...
gonna warning this card?
I don't know if you have Valor. Oh, wait, no, we were in Prio. You can't even do that. I'm still thinking it's like after. Oh, that's just as bad. Okay, perfect. Well, we tried. That was fun.
I have
Okay, so Torrential, you get your... You only get 1 Tengu, thankfully, so it could be worse.
Because I fucking don't have any others.
I will Gold Sark.
Oh, I can't win this game in 2 turns, dude.
I'm going to get rid of Avarice.
Fuck, that's such a good one.
And I will pass. I have to live 2 turns, though.
Yes, debris.
No! Shit.
All right, is there a better 7? Of course not. They never printed another 7. Thank you. Thank you, devil. Let me actually look here. It's not even playing. It's not even playing the other 7. How much is this? 41.
41. This is quite a bit.
All right. Go ahead, buddy.
Okay. I may not be getting my 2 turns here, so I need a fucking miracle. I'm gonna draw. Oh, dear. Well, buddy, this is a fun one.
There he is.
This is definitely a fun game.
There they are. I fucking love Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, my God. Good games.
Would you call them good games? I would not. These were a slog.
Yeah, these were not what I was expecting, but there was a lot of back and forth, which I do appreciate. Part of me's wondering with the Gold Sark, like, maybe I shouldn't have banished Avarice and just honestly taken the 1 in 23 chance to draw it off the top, because I don't know what I could have drawn that was going to get me out of this looking at my deck, and I would have had to draw Mirror Force Darkhold. One of those two would have been fine. So yeah. I had a chance, but it wasn't a high chance.
I will say, I feel so bad coming off the heels of last episode where we had like like Battle Cruiser Yu-Gi-Oh! And we're like making synchro plays and OTKs. This time we're like, all normal summon Kabazal.
You can even hear it in our voices.
And I'm like, I don't have an out to Stapersaurus. I'm sorry. Just agony. It's actually really funny that Dino Rabbit is here, because Dino Rabbit was first discovered a little earlier, and it was a terrible deck. I mean, really, really bad. It just did this. It was like, okay, I mean, like, Dolka's gonna have to win me the game. Logia's gonna have to win me the game. And against a lot of different decks, it can't. Like, that's not enough to do it. But it was a deck with a very specific matchup spread, and it went from this like almost joke to a top 3 deck because of the December and January and February 2012 meta, which we'll be exploring a little more in depth next time. But oh my God, what a snoozer of a list.
Yeah, it's as basic as you could expect. And that's one of the things about this deck in particular. Like, when we cover the decks next episode, it does have, like, quote-unquote auto wins against some of those decks after this deck goes under some iteration changes, of course. But leading up to that, I mean, you know, you're just playing, like, big idiot, hit hard, summon, you know, Dolka, summon Logia, like, you basically just win the game. I think my misplay was not taking out your Tengu and not respecting Caius, because had I done that, I definitely think I could have won this, because then you wouldn't have been able to just do anything with the Tengu. You would have needed another thing to tribute for Caius, and I may have still had Zenmain's Dolka on my board to get one more negation off. So yeah. I think that was the turning point. I had Smashing Ground in hand to clear it, but I'm just like, if he sacks it off, he's going to trigger it. I can Dolka negate then. But when you have a Caius, you know, chain blocking is a thing.
Helps that they were both mandatory as well.
Well, I'm actually curious, and this is something that the comments are going to have to come back and say with us. I'm not sure how it worked with sequencing different chain links back in the day, but
I didn't even think
was it possible that because Tengu hit the grave first, it has to be chain link 1? I don't know. I'm used to modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you get to pick, but I think there may have been a rule change on chain links. I mean, chain links have undergone like multiple iterations there. So I can't wait for, like, if we're wrong, the comments are going to be like, oh, Simo could have killed Caius because it would have been chain link 2 or whatever. And then that would have been a completely different game. But
yeah, listen, if that interaction doesn't go as intended, I will happily don the shirt of shame again. I mean, there was no getting out of that board.
We'll see.
This deck, this Tengu plan, I am so glad that it had a great showing for its final showing. It just basically falls off the face of the earth after this. And it's not hard to see why. This deck has undergone, and I talk about this constantly because I'm addicted to talking about it, a process I like to call goatification. If you have looked at any like historical GOAT lists, you know how they're bloated with these like terrible one-ofs that were like good in very specific formats, and people just never questioned the efficacy of these cards, right? At this point, Tengu Plant is a similar deck. It's full of so many garbage one-ofs that this deck that should have a ton of space in it has like none. And the end game plan has functionally ceased being plants. Like, Debris Dragon is in there for inevitability. Eventually, you'll find Sangan and be able to get the Debris Dragon and make Black Roses a couple of turns in a row. But aside from that, how is this that much different than Dino Rabbit? It's basically normal Tengu sit on some traps and wait for your opponent to, you know, get frustrated enough to commit to something. I mean, it is not hard to see why this deck fell out of favor. It is just not as strong as the other stuff that's available in this format. And despite the fact that it won, I think this series was a pretty good representation of that fact.
Yeah, and I think once we start exploring some of the other decks as well, it's going to become more apparent why the Tengu Plant deck sort of just falls out of favor, because the power core discrepancy with the other decks is kind of just on like another level, right? And like Dino Rabbit's cute. It's very simple to play. It's pretty straightforward, but it just has like really good matchups as well. And you know, the big idiots that can just negate things usually can just get the job done, and there's like nothing you can do about it.
I mean, imagine trying to pitch to someone, be like, yeah. So the crux of the deck is you can use Lone Fire Blossom to go into Dandelion, and then later when the Dandelion goes to the grave, you can normal summon a Debris Dragon to bring back the Dandelion and make a 2400 attack monster. And it's
Whoa!
like, what's the Dino Rabbit combo for that? Normal Dino Rabbit, and the 2400 attack monster is an Omni. Yeah, I mean, like, close in power level.
So guys, that's gonna wrap it up for another episode of the History of Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's shout the patrons as always. So big shout to Shout1317, Moto Cameron Smith, Chaotic Meatball, Tim 0x3, Ian Musaika, Iron Fang, Part 2, Pony Stark, Dan the Man, Hoban, Sinker Guy, Ole, Yusuf Fast 05, Sylvia Wilds, Colty, Draconic, Rockslide, Dolly Up, Logan Thomas, Peter Gregory, Thomas Elson, Jordan Coons, Kelvin, Iron Blazing, Purace, Jesse with True Nerdgasm, Brother Paul, Chris Ode, MBT, Play Madolce, Nair Celeste, David Liu, Chakot, Skyrose, Dylan Hunter, John 2 Base, Extremely Vulgar Man, Brody Eastwood, Dacer, Carlos DT, Final Daddy, Ashlyn Jensen, Give Me Speedroid or Give Me Death. Guys, please read your cards. CC Gaming, thanks for the sleeves, Dad. Matthew Brady, Ash Blossom, Toe Sniffer, Max Tom Russell, Ben Snatch for Steel for Progression 2021, Chipotle Rice, Jan Omar, I think of MBT in the shower, Super Dark Edge, and Kanye's famous album, MBT DTF. Congratulations, buddy, on the first win of the new year, and we will see you next time.